welcome to another edition of Sactown Movie Buffs. As always, I'm Kier, and this is Jason, and today we are back reviewing two new streaming films. The two films we're going to be reviewing today are going to be The Trial of the Chicago 7 and Spontaneous, and both of them can be found streaming. Trial of Chicago 7 I found on Netflix, and Spontaneous is it on Amazon Prime?
It's just for rent video on demand.
Yeah,
I got it on Amazon.
Yeah, I got it on Amazon. Cool. Well, without further ado, I say we get right into it. Let's go ahead and start with The Trial of the Chicago 7. And Jason, if you don't mind, I'll have you go ahead and tell us a little bit about that film.
Sure. So this is a movie, obviously based on a true story, about the protest in 1968 around the Democratic National Convention that turned violent, the police and the protesters. And this movie focuses on the aftermath of the clash. I mean, it does go back into, you do get to see the clash in hindsight, but it focuses on the trial resulted from the melee at the Democratic National Convention. And it is written and directed by Aaron Sorkin, who is, everybody knows Aaron Sorkin's work. He wrote The Social Network, the Steve Jobs movie, The West Wing, of course. So it's got that Aaron Sorkin feel to the dialogue, which means everybody talks fast and everybody's like very, very quick-witted usually. And it's also a very all-star cast. Sacha Baron Cohen, otherwise known as Borat, plays Abby Hoffman. And it's also got Joseph Gordon-Levitt, John Carroll Lynch. Who else? I can't read the Abdul Yahya Mateen, I think, is his name, as Bobby Seale. So it's got a really good cast. To cut to the chase, I like this movie quite a bit. I'm a big Aaron Sorkin fan. I ironically, I've never watched The West Wing, but I'm a big fan of his script for The Social Network, and I loved the Steve Jobs biopic that had Michael Fassbender in it. So I like the way he writes. I like the sharp wit in the things he writes, and it's very well directed as well. It's very well acted. It definitely held my attention because it's a little long. It's a little over 2 hours long, and it does focus primarily on a trial. So 2 hours and 10 minutes in a courtroom could be boring, but it's not really. One, because of the dialogue, two, because of the acting, and three, because it does flash back and forward in time quite a bit. So you get to see what led to the riot. You get to see little bits of the riot, and then the present tense would be the trial. But it cuts between all three of those really well. And yeah, I really liked it. I think Netflix has had quite a few quality offerings this year. I wouldn't say it's the best Netflix movie I've seen this year, but it is very good. It's definitely something that looked and felt like something I would have seen in the theater. Honestly, it feels like Oscar season type stuff. Not in the good way, because you can say Oscar type stuff and mean something bad, but I mean something good here when I say that. So yeah, I liked it quite a bit. How about you?
Cool. Yeah. No, I definitely enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. I was a little hesitant at first because I didn't know a whole lot about it. I didn't know a lot about the trial or what took place during the '68 Democratic Convention and that sort of stuff. So I didn't know about the riot or anything like that. I really enjoyed it quite a bit. It was very I don't want to say educational, but very informative. But I like the way that it was shot. Like I said, it is primarily set in a courtroom outside of a few flashback scenes here and there. And also, when they weren't in the courtroom, they were like meeting and discussing about the trial and that sort of stuff. But what I really liked about it is it was actually humorous in a lot of parts.
Yeah.
Well.
Oh yeah. It's funny.
It actually was quite funny. So It wasn't like one of those like serious like courtroom dramas. It wasn't like silly and over the top or anything like that. But it definitely had a lot of humor in it. So it didn't feel like a stuffy courtroom drama is what I really enjoyed about it. So it felt I don't want to say light, but it felt lighter than what I was expecting it was going to be. I kind of
Lively,
yeah, yeah,
maybe.
lively.
Yeah.
So
And oh, go ahead, Simon.
so I was just saying, so that's what I really liked about it is it kind of took me for a loop. I was kind of a little bit, I don't want to say hesitant to watch it, but I was definitely like, this is like one of those like courtroom 2 hour long dramas where it's going to be, yada yada yada. But no, it was fun. It was really really interesting. Like I said, and if you're not familiar with what took place, because neither of us were born back in '68, so if you're not familiar with what took place back in the during that trial or during that whole process, I definitely would recommend you check this one out because like I said, it has a lot. It's right there at the there's a lot of movements that were taking place in terms of the civil rights movements and then the with the Black Panther Party and
Yeah.
that's featured in the film and then obviously the social injustices. The Vietnam War was going on, which is what a lot of the protests was about. And so there was a lot of different elements that were going on at that time, and this film kind of highlights that. And so that's what I really enjoyed about it as well. So
Yeah, and unfortunately, a lot of that stuff is still relevant. Even now, like 50 years, 50 plus years later, it's still a lot of those things are still happening. Unfortunately.
yeah, there's
Um,
still a lot of rioting. There's still a lot of social injustices that are taking place. The film deals with police brutality, which is
mhm.
something that's still happening today. Where not so much war protests and that sort of stuff, but there's still a lot of those the social justices that they were fighting for back in '68. They're still fighting for those things now. Which is just crazy to think about. That like you said, 52 years later, a lot of the same stuff is going on right now, which is just crazy to fathom that we're still talking about a lot of those same issues that were taking place back in '68. So
Yeah, and I really enjoyed Sacha Baron Cohen as Abby
yeah, I thought he was
Hoffman.
great.
It's yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
thought he was really really good, and and he's always been a good actor, and I know he's kind of known as just the Borat guy or whatever, or the Ali G or all those characters that he
yeah.
plays, but I've seen him in other films where he has been more of a serious role, and he's not like. I mean, he's serious in here, but he does still have that humor about him in certain instances and that sort of stuff. But he's a really good actor. And I really liked his performance in there as well. I thought he was great. So
Yeah, he's actually the second. I'm a little familiar with Abby Hoffman, and this is actually the second movie I've seen someone play Abby Hoffman. Vincent D'Onofrio played him in a movie called Steal This Movie. Because he
mm,
wrote a book called Steal This Book.
right,
So that was a biopic, but and Vincent D'Onofrio is a great actor, so he was really good. But it was not a it's kind of weird to call this movie fun, but it's a lot more fun than that movie was. I mean,
right,
that movie was fairly, I've never felt the need to watch it again. I'll put it that way. But he was
right.
good in it. But this is I definitely really liked Sacha Baron Cohen's take on him. And you're right. I mean, like, I wish he would do more. I mean, not that I love Borat and Bruno and I love those movies, but I do. He's also just a really good actor. So
Hmm.
I wish he would do more scripted work.
Yeah,
Than he has been doing. So
right.
oh yeah, I never watched that. What was that? The brothers, the something brothers or something like that he did a few years ago. I
Oh
heard that
yeah,
was
yeah,
not
yeah, yeah,
never
yeah.
very good.
I didn't see that either. So I know what
I
you're
heard that
talking
was
about.
not very good.
Yeah, I
Oh, the
didn't see that.
brothers Grimsby or something. I don't
Something
know.
like that. Yeah, I didn't
Yeah,
see that one either.
yeah. I heard it
But
was
no, I liked
not
him
good.
even in. I mean, it was a comedy also, but I liked him in Talladega Nights. You know what I mean? I thought he
Oh
was
yeah,
yeah,
I love
but
that movie. Yeah.
another comedy, of course, but still, it was a scripted thing, not so much just playing a character or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, no, he's a really good actor. He's really really good in there. I thought all the performances, were good in there, also. So, and then so like I said, it's just a really really good movie, and I
Hmm.
kind of definitely would urge anyone to check it out. So if you haven't seen it, definitely check out Trial of the Chicago 7 on Netflix. So
Yes.
it's cool. Anything else you wanted to add about that one?
No. Nope.
All right, cool. Well, moving on to the next film. And I will take this one on. The next film is called Spontaneous, and again, I found this one on Amazon. You can find it on various streaming platforms. Uh, Completely different direction than I was trying to
Yeah.
7. Uh, Spontaneous is very interesting. So basically, Spontaneous is about a high school um, and a group of seniors were just the seniors pretty much where for no reason at all there no real explanation the seniors just start basically exploding just spontaneously combust and explode and die and that's pretty much what happens so no one can figure out why it's happening. They're trying to find links, like were they doing some kind of drugs? Were they hanging out together? Did they get exposed to something? Is it radiation? But it's only happening to just the seniors in this school, not to the parents, not to the sophomores or anything of that nature. But and it's just randomly. It's just like randomly groups of kids just start spontaneously combusting, if you will, and just explode. And so basically the film kind of goes from there. The girl here is kind of the main star. And then she kind of, is in the classroom right behind a girl when it first starts. And then from there, it's just like panic and fear. And everybody's kind of worried that they're going to be next because it's like randomly just happening to kids. And then obviously she befriends the boy the boy in the film as well. And they kind of form like a relationship as well, and they both are kind of like, well, what's going to happen to us if you know what I mean, one of us could spontaneously explode and that kind of stuff. And there's a lot that happens in the film in terms of they get quarantined, and the scientists are trying to figure out exactly what's going on and the reason behind why these kids are just exploding and no particular reason, and they're trying all these like trial studies and drugs and that sort of stuff. And I'm describing it as like it's a very like serious like horror film, but it's actually kind of more of a comedy in a lot of ways.
Mhm.
There are a lot of very funny parts. There's always the high school types, the clicky kids and the jocks and the nerds and the stoners, the burnout. So you have all your different cliques, but the spontaneous exploding is happening to pretty much everybody that's in the film. You know what I mean? All the kids, it didn't matter what clique you hang out with or who you were friends with or how popular you were. People were just randomly just exploding. And so, like I said, the base of the film is they're trying to get to the bottom of it. And that's kind of the nutshell of the film without giving, I guess, too much away. I mean, it's not the kind of film where there's going to be a whole lot of spoilers. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun film. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I did have. I felt like the first hour or so was really really good. The last, I don't know, 30 minutes or so of the film, I had some issues with. I don't know. I felt like it got a little wacky and a little, silly as it got towards the end a little bit. And then I don't know. I don't need films to tie up in a nice neat bow, but it kind of just, I don't know. I kind of felt like it was like somewhat anticlimactic towards the end. Basically, is my only, I guess, minor gripe with it. It's just how it kind of wrapped all up at the end or whatever. So, but other than that, I thought it was a fun film. I thought it was funny. Um, I enjoyed it. It had definitely kept me engaged. It was interesting trying to find out exactly why these kids are exploding and trying to figure out which kid was going to be the next to like just basically explode and that sort of stuff. So I enjoyed it. What was your take, Jason?
Yeah, I like this movie a lot. I like this movie a lot. I think I agree with you in the way that the first hour, a little more than an hour, probably. I was like, man, this is like one of the best like teenage weird comedies I've ever seen. And then yeah, the last half hour, it is a little bit. I don't know. I can't really talk about it without giving things away, but I will say the last half hour or so I was little bit less enjoyable than the first hour, without getting into specifics. But still, like it was still good. It was still good, and I thought it was a really interesting movie, a really unique movie. A lot of the time I was trying to figure out what is there a metaphor here, or is the exploding supposed to be a metaphor for something? I don't know. And maybe when I watch it, I'll be able to figure it out. But
Right.
even if you don't think of it like that, it's just an entertaining, weird, crazy movie. and it's also a love story. Like,
Yeah,
I
it is
think
a love story.
the two kids, and they're really Karen Langford. I've seen, she was in the Netflix show 13 Reasons Why, which I really liked the first season. I
I
haven't
never
watched any of the
watched
other
that.
ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she was in Simon in a supporting role too. So and I was trying out where I know the boy Charlie Plummer from, and after it was over, I looked him up, and he was in this movie years ago called Lean on Pete, which was a really great movie, and he's the lead actor in there. And so I knew I had seen him before, and I knew I liked him at something, but. So I think they're both really good, and they're really good together, and that really sells the movie. And then, like as a bonus, you get people like exploding, and sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's like heartbreaking, sometimes it's like scary, kind of, you know.
Yeah.
But it's a really interesting movie. It's a really unique movie. So yeah,
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Cool.
Yes.
Cool. Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So looks like we enjoyed both the films this time.
We
So,
did.
but as always, we'll find out how much we enjoyed the films and how much we differ on that enjoyment, I guess, if you will.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Was there anything else you wanted to add about that film? I didn't mean to cut you off if you weren't done. Okay, perfect.
You have to stop
So I
interrupting
guess.
me, Kier. Jeez. No.
So let's start with the Trial of the Chicago 7. What was your overall grade and face you would give that one?
I give that a 4 out of 5. You know, me and my 4 out of 5s. It's a to me, it's a solid B plus. So that'd be this face. Smile with some teeth.
Cool. Yeah, I'm not going to be too far behind you, actually. I'm going to give this one actually a 3.5 out of 5. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I thought it was a really interesting and good film. So I'm going to give it 3.5 out of 5, and I'm going to give it this face, which is also a smile with some teeth. So cool. So not too far apart on that one. And then Spontaneous. Overall grade you would give that one, and the face you would give that one.
Matt, I am predictable tonight, so it's a 4 out of 5. Also a B plus. I will say this is probably a little bit of a higher B plus than the Chicago 7 for me.
Really?
For like the first hour, I was thinking this is a 4.5 out of 5 easy. But then the last half hour I didn't like quite as much, although I did still like it. So it's a high B plus, high 4 out of 5, which is this face. Same one, smile with some teeth.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went a little bit lower on this one. I went three out of 5 on this one.
Yeah.
I did enjoy it. I thought it was fun. Like I said, I did have some issues kind of with the last half hour or so of it. So that definitely knocked it down from the 3.5 to a 3 out of 5. But I still really enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. Definitely one that I would urge anyone to check out and recommend. But like I said, just had a few minor issues with the last 30 minutes. So 3 out of 5, and I'm going to give this face. And I think I'm also going to go with a smile with some teeth on this one, just barely though. So,
All right.
so, but cool. But cool, yeah, definitely enjoyed both of those films. So yeah, let us know if you've seen either one of them or both of them. Let us know in the comments your thoughts, your takes on it. As always, if you like the channel, we ask that you like, subscribe, make sure you hit the bell notification so you don't miss any of our updates. And we'll be back again soon with another show for you guys. We thank you so much for watching, and we hope you have a great day. Bye.